Boom.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my Hoot Crew. I hope you're all having a safe, happy, and healthy day. We are back with the Pipebomb podcast with my buddy Steve.
Hello.
Over there. And my buddy Jace from Not Suitable for Mom.
Oi, oi.
How is everyone tonight, Steve?
I am good.
And he's munching. And
he's got to be good then if he's munching.
I'm munching.
Yeah, exactly. How are you doing, Jace?
Yeah, no, I'm all right. Bit of a quiet day today compared to the rest of the week, but it's nice to have a relax and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I ate far too much food yesterday.
Yeah, I bet. So did we. I had we had sushi for dinner, but we had like a whole bunch of trays of it, so it was quite fun.
Went out for Nando's.
Ooh, there you go.
10 chicken wings.
Ooh, there you go. That's one place my son wants to go when we come over there. So
yeah.
All right. So to get right to the point, we're going to be talking about AEW and WCW, WWE.
That's not open again yet. I know you're getting excited.
Yet. Okay, but unfortunately, we're going to have to start the day with some bad news again.
Oh, here we go.
Former referee Mickey J. Henson has passed away at the age of 59. He was a referee for both WCW and WWE.
Yeah.
And he officiated his first match in 1987 at the Eddie Graham Sports Complex in Orlando, Florida. He joined WCW in 1992. Refereed the match that ended Goldberg's undefeated streak at the hands of Kevin Nash at Starrcade in 1998. He signed with WWE in 2005. He officiated matches for John Cena, Kurt Angle, and The Undertaker, and Edge, and more.
Yeah.
But our heart goes out to the Henson family. And we wish them all the best. Thoughts and prayers, condolences, and all that.
Indeed.
Thank you for...
Yeah, I remember him. He was a pretty good ref.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was really, really cool. I liked him. Hey, Izzy, how are you, sweetheart? I hope you're having a wonderful day. And in the next... What I'm going to do, I'm not going to spend too much time on the bad news. We just wish the family all the best. But in good news... Johnny Gargano and his wife Candice LeRae have had their little baby boy.
Good.
And we just want to congratulate them and hope. And this is a picture of him that we got on Instagram. He has, I don't know his name, and if it was there, but he's a beautiful little boy.
Yeah.
And we wish them all the best and congratulations to both of them. Quill. Yeah. We'll just name him Quill.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Just welcome to Earth, Quill. A very Gargano name. There you go.
There you go. Quill is his name then.
That's on his shirt too. There you go.
Nice.
When you can't think of a name, so whatever he's wearing, that's what his name is.
That is. But he's adorable. So congratulations to Johnny and Candice. And yes, you sure you're innocent. We believe you, Izzy. Izzy's always claiming to be innocent. Don't believe her. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about, this is a huge thing. It's been all over social media. And if you have not heard about it yet, spoiler alert. But Cody Rhodes has left AEW. And so to speak, he's coming to WWE. Brandy has been released as well. Now, Tony Khan had a big letter that he wrote out to everybody. I'm only going to read part of it because it was very long. But he said briefly, Cody and Brandy were integral to the launch of AEW. Cody's ability, combined with his boldness and his passion for our industry and his love for community, helped AEW deliver on our mission to give fans what they needed for far too long. Brandy and Cody both responded to that as well. I didn't write all that down. If you want to read all that, you guys just search it up in Google and you can find the whole thing. And Wrestling Hub had a video as well about it. But I mean, I'm kind of shocked because he was one of the ones who helped start AEW. So for me, when we heard about it, I was like, excuse me? Well, why would he come back to WWE? This started this company because of WWE and the failings, so to speak, of what the fans wanted. So, Jace, we're going to go with you first. What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, well, I found out by accident. It came up on my news feed on my phone.
Right.
And I thought, hey, what's going on here then? Right. Now, I've heard various conflicting things.
Right.
Some people are saying it's work. It's a really big work. And that they're going to do a whole Cody coming back.
Right.
As taking over AEW by himself or whoever he happens to have with him. So a bit of a NWO style angle, I suppose. Right? That's one thing I've heard. The reason I've heard that he went is because it's about a payday. He's 36.
Right.
Not got long left in his career. And I don't know what WWE have promised him, if anything.
Right.
But, you know, it must be something pretty big to be able to take him away.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty big for a guy like Cody, like I said, who helped start the company.
Yeah. Well, he was executive vice president, was he, along with the Young Bucks and all that lot.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know, if that's what he wants to do, fair play to him. If you feel he needs to make a statement that he never got to make before, and he can do it on his own terms with WWE, then, you know, fair enough to the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't. There was a bit that. See, Brandy's not signing with WWE.
No.
So that makes me wonder whether there's something else going on.
There could be.
Go on.
No, I was going to say there could be because of the way Brandy's been behaving.
Yeah.
Right? Like
what's she been doing then?
Well, there was a comment made. Steve knows what it is. I'll get him to tell you in a second. But there was a comment that she made that was right. It was completely out of line. It was rude, and it totally turned me down on her. It turned. I was like, done. But what was the comment again, Steve?
Oh, the racist one?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
Yeah. This gets interesting now. So she. There's no surprise that she got booed. They both got booed like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Well, she got offended one day because she had a comeback, is what she called it. Whereas one time it was Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes, and that's the match with I think it was the one before that led up to the table match, or not table match, but extreme match that went to the table. But that's the when Brandy came back and she was in the ring like crouched down, like she's sitting down in front of Malachi and giving him the double fingers. That was her big comeback to AEW. And everyone's like, we didn't even know you left. You know? Everyone's like, we didn't know that was a comeback. We just thought you were there. And she got so offended by people booing her that she's like, all these middle-aged white men that are hating me because of this and that. I'm like, first off, it's not just middle-aged white men. Yeah. Everyone's booing you. Yeah. And second of all, like, no one knew you left. When you book yourself in every other segment, nobody knew you left. And so that comment went salty for a lot of people and went sour for a lot of people on her. Yeah. And pretty much she never really recovered from that. And now that she's gone, I don't know if it's working out. I'm starting to believe from like the reports, because I follow people that do all this reporting, and that's how I find out about releases as soon as they happen. These people are reporting this multi-million deal at WrestleMania. I don't know. But the thing is with her is there's two superstars, or I'm calling them superstars now. I just watched the Chamber. There's two wrestlers in the back that are upset she's gone. That's Nyla Rose and Red Velvet. The rest of them, though, which they're all remaining anonymous because they don't want any drama, are saying that they're actually happy that she's gone and that they haven't said anything about him, but they're happy she's gone. So she almost, it sounds like she was a Charlotte in the back. Nobody liked her, and they're actually glad she left.
So
I never really had a problem with Cody as much.
no.
And I never really had a problem with her either. Until
I
she made
thought
that comment.
she seemed all right to me.
Until she made that comment, and then I was like, oh, okay.
So is this a case of him sticking by his wife?
Yeah, I
I
think
know
so.
his contract was coming up. I knew his contract was coming up, but you know, I thought because he was executive vice president, he could more or less dictate what he got and what he didn't get. You know, I thought he would have had more of a say in it, but obviously Tony Khan was saying no, because I suppose it is really Tony's company.
Yeah. The way I see it is that executive vice president is more of just a title than a management role. I mean, it really is. The pay is not too much different. It just kind of puts you in like more of a stage that you have more influence, which you know, for booking and stuff, which pretty much is Triple H's role. That's how he was. And before
I mean, he got taken out of NXT and all the rest of it, got demoted. So
I mean, he has health issues too, so it's okay, you know, that he's resting up. Yeah. But the thing is I believe they just had a new baby, Brandy and Cody, recently in the last like 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So so he might have sold his soul to the big WWE for the baby, which I respect. But if he's going to come back and be bashing, so this is where we wait. All right, if he comes back and starts bashing the other company, then we know he's just a huge sellout.
Yeah.
And anything he says, he does not believe. Like, you know, anything he says is just story. You don't believe it. We'll find that out soon. But if he's just doing it for his family, like Kevin Owens did with staying WWE, total respect for that. No issues, no harm. I know WWE fans are going to be thinking about it, but
like I said, I mean, he started his career in AEW, really.
Yeah.
So maybe he wants to finish there, just like I said, to prove that he could have, if WWE had given him the chance the first time. He could have done something with it. I can't see him going back and doing, what do we call it?
Stardust.
Stardust.
That's what everyone's begging for, but without Goldust, it's not going to happen.
No. I don't want that for him anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want that for him. He made it work, right?
Yeah.
But then that's because he was a young kid trying to make his way, and he's basically doing what he was told to do, so he could get chances later on down the line.
If he goes there as the American Nightmare with the new style, new theme song, and police starts over, I think he can make it work. If he tries to go back as like the Nexus, or not Nexus, but the Legacy Cody, I just don't think that's going to work as well. I think he's got to go there and just, you know, put his foot through the mat and just.
If he basically does what he was doing in AEW in WWE, I think he could get over.
Yeah,
I think so too. Yeah,
right. And you got to bear in mind, you said about him bad mouthing AEW, right?
Yeah. It's probably going to be in the script.
I don't know. The thing is, one, what would be the point of WWE doing it? Because they always said they don't acknowledge AEW.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't really see that happening. And if it did, the only way it would be doing, and Cody probably wouldn't mean it, would just be being part of his character, you know, to get cheap heat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
They could be like, he could be like, finally, I'm in a real company, unlike that small company I was stuck at, or something like that. Yeah. It could be something like that, where it never says any names, but could just be, it's a small indie company.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, the whole thing, even the bit with, all right, it was not really the thing to have done. Did she actually say it on camera or anything, or?
It was a tweet, and she never deleted it. It's still probably up right now. I could probably still find it.
Yeah.
So it was on the show.
No, it was a tweet that she put out.
Oh, it's sweet.
Yeah, it was after the show, and she never deleted it, never removed it.
Yeah. See, again, I'm wondering whether that's all.
Yeah, but still, the word she used.
That wasn't the only thing. That was the only like big racist thing about that she ever said. But everything else is she always attacks people. Oh, you didn't like me, and then she like goes off on people. She's the person that will respond to every single hate tweet she gets.
Yeah.
She's that kind of like the Twitter finger person. Yeah, she too much heat. She can't handle all that heat, and that's her issue.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, she's a great wrestler and stuff like that. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, I mean, she even does it in the ring too. When she's
mic
on
skills
there,
are great
she's
too.
like, she mouths off to everybody. And I mean, yeah, okay, if that's part of your persona, that's part of the character you want to be. We get that. But just some of the stuff she said, like if you go look at her Twitter, it's pretty nasty sometimes, and she gets right nasty with people. And I mean,
she can't handle any criticism.
Don't like you.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, it's a bit weird us saying about middle-aged white blokes when her husband's one.
That's the thing that kills me. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you got the dudes that are like, oh, so I got no chance with you, and then they're sitting there wearing a hat. They're middle-aged white men. Like, dang, I thought I had a chance, and joking with her. But no, that was the worst thing she said. But the thing is, what people don't like her is that she always constantly ran her mouth. She was really good in the mic, really good in the ring. But if she doesn't keep it there, she actually would just go off on everyone. Like you could sit there and watch her Twitter and go all of her like replies, and it's just a bunch of respond to people calling her out, and yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, well, we wish Cody all the best, depending on what,
of course,
what he does, if he's really coming to WWE, and if what he's going to come back as. We don't know whether it's Stardust or whatever, but I agree with Steve. Without Goldust, it's not really going to work. So he needs to figure it out. But I wish him a lot of success, especially for Brandy and the baby, to make sure he can support them and everything else. Alrighty, moving on. The next thing we're going to talk about right now is Jay White, who has joined AEW. He was invited to AEW by Adam Cole, and he said it was the right time because the right person asked him.
Yes.
So I'm going to let Steve go a little bit more into Jay White and what they're calling him. I forget what they call him now, but he had his first match I think it was last night, and he did a phenomenal job. And then we'll get your opinion, Jay. So go ahead, Steve.
Well, they kept his gimmick from New Japan, so they didn't change anything about him, which is what I love about AEW. He is the Switchblade, Jay White, and he came in as just like a backup to attack Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
So he just had a match with Trent Beretta, very good match. Of course, all the marks are out because his move, the Blade Runner, is just like the same thing as a Sister Abigail. So everyone's like, "Is that the Sister Abigail?" You dang mark. But he came out. Had a really good match with Trent. Hit him with a Blade Runner. Won the match. Great. He's a crazy looking dude. The knife pervert, as Trent calls him.
Yeah.
He's a good force. I mean, he's a cool looking dude. He's got some moves, and I'm so glad that Forbidden Door is open still to New Japan. Yeah. And there's Tony Khan's already leaked a lot of crazy stuff coming on soon with New Japan. So, as in like New Japan titles being defended on AEW and stuff soon. So it's gonna be a crazy couple months, and this is the start of it. So I like him. He's a cool ass dude. Now he has issue, and he also had a promo where he said, "If it wasn't for me, there would be no AEW. So you're welcome." And what that reference is to him taking the title from Kenny. And if he didn't do that, Kenny would have never came and made this company. So he's like, because if there wasn't me, there would be no AEW. So you're welcome. And I'm like, thank you.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
So he's a heel, but he's like one of those heels that just is spot on about everything that he spits out. He's awesome. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool guy. And I can't wait to see when Kenny comes back from his injury, what happens there, because that could be wild. Their matches together are pretty crazy. So
Jace, what are your thoughts on that?
To be honest with you, I've heard of him, but I've never seen any of his matches, so I don't really have an opinion.
His finisher is the Sister Abigail, but he calls it the Blade Runner, so you're gonna love it.
Well, I mean, fair play to the bloke. We'll see what he brings to the table, if anything. I mean, you seem quite enamored with him, mate. So
he's a badass, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm still a fair way behind. I'm more up now than I was. I think September I'm at now. So CM Punk has been around for a few weeks. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's where I am. It's just trying to catch up with him. Where I miss so much,
Yes.
I'm trying to catch up, and I'm trying to watch shows every day. But this last couple of weeks, I've been out doing stuff here, there, and everywhere, so it's like difficult to find time to do it.
Right.
But yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there, and I do want to. I will skip through bits of the show,
Yeah.
but for the by and large, I'll try and watch most of it.
Yep.
You know. So yeah, I mean, fair play. We'll see what he brings to the table. Again, I do think AEW are getting too many people. Certainly, too many people from WWE.
Mm-hmm.
There's stars that were there from day one that are now getting overlooked, which I don't think is right. You know.
Yeah, and that's what they were worried about. The fans were worried about that. We've been talking about it and how they keep getting all this talent come over and big names and stuff. And what they had started AEW for was to give the indie wrestlers more of a stage, you know. And now a lot of those guys aren't wrestling anymore.
Well,
yeah.
But to AEW's credit, you know, as none of the former WWE stars are champions right now.
No.
Okay. So you still got Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy as the tag champs. You got Sammy Guevara as the TNT champion. Jade Cargill's the TBS champ. And the world champ is Hangman. So they still, you know, Jungle Boy is still, you know, there. He was original. He still got like 70 wins.
Are they still using Orange Cassidy and
oh yeah.
Yeah, and
best friends are feuding with the Elite right now, like hardcore.
Yeah, and Darby Allin.
Yeah, Darby actually just fought for the TNT title.
Yeah,
and got screwed by Andrade El Idolo. So
yeah, because those two especially, you know, from pretty much the first time they showed up, I was like, yeah, they're going to be big stars. So, and Sammy, obviously.
One thing that they've done, which has been really good for the old, like the originals in AEW versus the old, former WWE, is that they've had the originals feuding with the former WWE. So not only can they broadcast these guys they're bringing in, but then they still broadcast the older because they're feuding with them. So they've mixed it up well with that. And that I didn't even expect that to happen as well as it is, but
yeah, and to build on what Steve said too, like none of the people have come over from WWE are champions yet at all, none of them. And it's really cool to see like they're making them earn it.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to see was them earn it. And I mean, people can say they're WWE rejects or whatever they want to say, but for us, we know it wasn't that they were rejected because they were big in WWE. They just weren't used right. AEW is using them properly the way they want to be used, and their success depends on them, not the company.
Adam Cole is the number one contender at Revolution, but he had to win like 15 matches or something to get there.
Yeah.
So I mean, he didn't just get like even Ruby got a title shot right away and she lost. So even if they are getting title shots right away, the only one that really got it, that won right away was Miro on the TNT title, but he still had a couple months of undefeated streak going on.
Well, I wouldn't have said he got it right away. It took a while.
No, yeah.
That's why I said a few months. But when he said he wanted the title, he got it. The only ones that really got the title right away were probably FTR, which is now which I guess they are FTR now. I forgot their whole team. It's been so long. Jericho obviously was the first champ, and like Moxley. But other than that, there hasn't been a former WWE champ in a while. No. So I mean, they've done good mixing it up.
Yeah, they really have.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed that's what they continue to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Of course. And now we have a new wrestling promotion we're going to talk about here soon. That's coming out in a couple of weeks. So
yeah. But first, we're going to talk about Shane McMahon.
And let me find the sexy SOB real quick. Hold on.
We're going to talk about Shane McMahon and the fact that he left the WWE. And from what news is saying, he's going to be restarting WCW. Now, we don't know if that's a rumor or the truth or whatever. But, you know, Shane McMahon has done this before. I said to Steve, before we even heard about the whole WCW thing or whatever, I said, wouldn't it be funny if he left, went to AEW, bought them out, and or Impact or whatever, and then restarted WCW or something like that, or whatever. And we were joking around about it. Next thing you know, Steve is researching and goes, "Wait a minute." He says something about WCW and restarting the company. I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
Found out he didn't get fired. He actually left, and now he wants to rebrand.
Is that left because the whole business that happened with the Royal Rumble when his entry into it?
I think so, yeah.
Because he was apparently he was really pissed that Vince didn't want him doing what he wanted to do.
6:30. Yeah.
I guess what I'm looking at now in recent news, as I was looking this picture up, is something about his departure had something to do with them signing Cody. So I guess he wanted nothing to do with Cody being there, so he left. And I guess he knew that was in the ramblings or whatever. But so Shane's got two paths right now that I could see him taking, and they've already been debating it. It's either restart WCW or just taking Cody Rhodes' spot in AEW.
Or heading to Impact and taking over Impact.
That one seems less likely. The WCW one probably is the most likely one.
I would like to see Impact go back to being TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Or Impact stays as it is, and Shane says, right, you're not using the TNA title, you're not using any of the properties to do with it, right? I'll buy that, I'll buy all the old tapes off you, right? Impact can be a separate entity, right? And I'll run TNA on its own as and put it back to what it was.
Yeah.
That could literally make TNA and Impact like a SmackDown and Raw. That is insane for that company, because that would actually be a crazy idea. You're a madman. I like it.
But I mean, two separate entities.
Oh, two.
I wouldn't have anything to do with Impact.
Oh shoot, yeah.
Right.
Well,
bring
TNA,
buy the X division off of them.
Yeah.
Because I don't use the X division properly.
Right.
Buy the X division off of them. Reset that up.
Yeah.
6-sided ring back.
I love the 6-sided ring.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. That's the whole point. Is it was supposed to be an alternative from WWE, and they went all out to make it different.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's just a mild carbon copy.
Yeah.
Right, and they've had some absolutely diabolical storylines in there in recent times. The last year or two,
and their viewership
been completely and utterly stupid.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And it's a shame because they've got some damn good wrestlers.
Oh, man. Honestly, a Shane McMahon could boost that viewership so much.
As long as he doesn't let his own bloody ego get in the way.
That's always an issue. And
he's so... I think that's the thing. He's so much like his dad, really.
Yeah. Triple H was the same way.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Triple H calmed it down a little bit when he went to NXT.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Get Hunter and Shane teaming together.
Mm.
That would be something, wouldn't it? That would be like a big FU to Vince for getting rid of Triple H.
Well, when Triple H was working with HBK and NXT, they were rocking.
Yeah.
On the old NXT, yeah.
But NXT, I'm sorry, they've got some damn good people in there still. But it's not what it was. It's not what it was.
It's going back to the Diva era.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
That's true.
Yeah. They well, you know what I want to talk to with reference to that, but I'll let you carry on your train of thought as at the moment.
Well, it's just whatever Shane does, he has some wicked awesome ideas. But like you said, he is so much like his dad.
Execution is the issue.
Exactly. He is so much like his dad that his ego gets in the way and he just never finishes it.
Yeah.
He gets the idea, it all looks good on paper, but as soon as it comes to putting it on screen, he falls apart.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know what I mean? Like, but anyways, go ahead and finish what you were saying, Jace.
Yeah, no, just saying about, I was going to say about Raw Underground. Obviously, that was an epic fail.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, they got some all right people come across from it, but
Yeah.
But they've not done anything much with the ones that have come across.
Right.
You know, Riddick Moss is, you know, quite literally is a joke, right?
Yeah.
Because Riddick Moss, I was impressed with in Raw Underground. Omos, Omos is a one-trick pony to my mind. Yes, he's a big dude, but he can't really wrestle very well. I think I don't know what I can't remember what his proper name is. Commander Aziz. They should be doing more with him because he struck me as a good fighter as well.
Yep.
You know.
But
Yeah,
I mean, those guys, like if you put Commander Aziz versus Omos, or if you had Braun Strowman there versus Omos, you know, big guys like that, that would make sense. But poor Omos is the only giant in the entire company.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously we know Big Show is not there anymore, so there's like no competition for him.
No.
He's just squashing everybody like little ants as he goes through his matches. It's pointless.
Now we gotta deal with this guy.
Oh yeah. Then there's this guy that we get to deal with every week.
Look how old he is. He still hasn't showed up yet.
Now that's just kind of a meme, but
it's a meme. It's because
every week we see the stupid thing. He's coming, he's doing this and whatever else, you know.
Like, up.
Oops, sorry, Jace.
Kick him
That's
out.
Right.
Well, because we both did it at the same time, so I think it moved when I clicked it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Because that's in reference to the guy that was with Jinder Mahal, wasn't it?
Yep.
Beer, yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know, and they didn't really do anything with him in that. And that's just Shaky or whatever his name is with him instead, who's basically doing naffle.
Yeah. He's there, he's had one match?
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, he's a, you know, I mean, he, if he was done rightly, he's a relatively tall guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So him and Omos could have a bit of a thing going.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, it's a lot of the time you get WWE, they get these big build-ups of what they're going to do, blah 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 blah, right? And it fizzles out. Look at Mordecai and people like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Attribution.
Mordecai could have been great.
Yeah.
You know, sort of like a reverse Undertaker. He could have been great.
Yeah.
But they completely balls up the whole idea.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. You know, you've had some of these guys, they promote them as though they're going to do something with them, and then the next thing you know, they're gone.
Absolutely. Yep.
You know?
And this is the thing, and this is why nobody wants to join WWE right now.
Which again amazes me about Cody.
Yep.
It had to be a big payday and a promise of certain.
Yeah.
There had to be some kind of creative promise.
Well, maybe that was a plan that's been in plan for a while.
Yeah.
Because Cody we don't know. Cody could have been unhappy with AEW for a while.
Cody is, I think, a lot of it too. Looking back at things, Cody is too Hollywood for AEW.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's more of an entertainer.
Yeah.
Than a wrestler.
Yeah, I guess. So.
So I think WWE could be a fit for him as well in that sense, as well as, you know, money for the baby and whatever, you know. But
right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that he's a bad wrestler because he's not. But you look at Chris Jericho. Jericho has got both down pat. He's an entity. He's very much an entertainer, but he's made AEW work for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Cody, but Chris is not afraid to put the younger talent over.
Yeah,
you know, I think he pretty much said from day one, I'm here to help build this company.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And that's why CM Punk came over, because he's doing the same thing.
What about way to build the company than helping to get the new talent over?
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. So we'll see what Shane McMahon does with this. And I think it's going to be some time before we see any results from it. Probably mid-year or near Christmas before we see anything. But we'll keep you posted on any news that we find out in the meantime. But we're going to move on to the next subject, which is, and Steve's going to do a little bit more talking about this because he knows more info than I do, because he brought it to my attention just today. Adam Scherer, better known as Braun Strowman, is going to be starting a new wrestling company. So,
Okay.
With EC3.
With EC3 as of March 2022. So, Steve, I'll let you tell us everything.
Alrighty, here we go. So Adam, the Titan, Adam Scherer, otherwise known as Braun Strowman, as we know him, there he is.
Yeah.
With EC3 is starting a new show called Control Your Narrative, CYN Wrestling, and it is supposed to be based on let's see. Control Your Narrative has found its purpose and is proud to announce Awakening Live, a series of live events featuring combative professional wrestling action and the real stories of those who choose to fight. And here's another thing: they're getting Killer Cross here, which is Karrion Kross. He's going to be there. And the whole purpose of Control Your Narrative is it's a completely independent of any wrestling promotion, set to an original score. It blends professional wrestling, cinema, and harsh reality, and will become the true definition of creative freedom. So basically, the whole purpose of this wrestling industry is that they're tired of these like super rich, giants, just making these ridiculous storylines just to make money. They want to show, real, hardcore storylines. And from the sounds of what I'm reading, from looking into it, it almost seems like it's going to be an ECW reboot of like their own style of extreme wrestling. That's what it seems like it's going to be. So it's I don't know who the actual owner is, but it's being brought to us by Adam Scherer and EC3, and honestly, that could be insane. I don't know anything yet. The first show here it starts on the 5th.
Yeah, March 5th.
And the second event here is supposed to be later on the 31st.
Well, all I would say is let's hope they do a better job than Global Force Wrestling did.
Yeah.
Because that came to absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so I'm not going to even get anywhere in the realm of talking about if this is going to be a competitor or anything, because who knows? This could just be like another Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore where they pre-tape it a month earlier and it's just a really silly pay-per-view that lasts 2 hours and that's it. Who knows what they're going to do, but I like the idea. I'm interested. I do like Braun Strowman, Adam Scherer, and I do like EC3. Yeah. And Killer Cross apparently is going to be there. Matt Sydal's supposed to be there. A couple people are supposed to be there from different promotions. Okay. So,
and if you guys want to check it out, it's at controlyournarrative.co. To read more about it. I'm looking forward to it personally. I mean, I really liked Braun Strowman. He's a great big brute of a guy, but he's also fast and very agile. EC3, love him. Karrion Kross, misused when he came up to the main roster, was amazing in NXT. I can't wait to see what this becomes. I hope it becomes something big if it is an ECW reboot, because we've been needing ECW stuff, and big guys like these guys, could bring a lot to the entertainment era. But Jason, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, fair play for people having a go and all the rest of it. I do think we're getting a bit oversaturated with stuff. I mean, if you've got AEW, right? Yeah. You've got ROH, Impact, WWE. Yeah. If Shane's doing this thing that he's saying about doing, this one coming up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Is it too much? Because nobody's going to be able to watch it all.
Right.
I've got difficulty keeping up on it as it is just with the two promotions, never mind anything else.
Right.
Right? That's not to say I don't want to see these guys compete. I do. But, outside of the main two, I think people tend to follow more the companies than they do the wrestlers.
True.
Wrestling companies have become like podcasts. Everyone's starting one right now.
Yeah.
So the only thing is not a lot of them get TV deals.
Yeah.
According to what they've talked about, is they're actually coming to terms with an actual international TV deal, and then that's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I find that very impressive. Yeah.
Again, it still is a lot. There's still so many promotions.
Have they said when and where the first show's going to be?
Yeah, it's supposed to be March 5th right there. Awakening Orlando. That's supposed to be the first show. Right there on the
No,
screen.
oh right, I can't see that from here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that going to be aired anywhere?
That's what I'm not sure. I'm assuming
We'll keep
so.
you posted anyways.
Yeah, we don't know
Yeah,
yet. All
please. Yeah.
I know is
Just
that they said,
it's more curiosity than anything else. I
just
mean,
to see how
yeah,
it
fair
is,
enough. Fair enough. If they can make something go of it, then I may well tune in because you've been saying you've got some good guys on there.
Yeah.
But it's getting a bit oversaturated now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of wrestling promotions. I mean, there's a lot of indie ones that we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got Impact that's televised. Ring of Honor was televised. You've got New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's all over YouTube.
Yeah.
You've got AEW now. You've got WWE, and now this new one. And yeah, I do kind of understand what you're saying, Jason. I mean, poor Rach, another show for Rach to watch, you know.
Yeah. Because we know she watches everything.
She's our encyclopedia of wrestling. I love her so much. She's such a trooper. But yeah, just something more for us to watch. And I do agree, there's a lot of wrestling here, there, and everywhere. And it's kind of pulling the fans every which way from up, you know. And it's like, do I watch this one? Do I watch that one? Do I like this one more? And I mean, Steve and I have been kind of wrestling with it too, and I'm sure you have. Is we grew up with WWE and WCW. And I mean, yeah, WCW went under, but it was amazing. And we were left with just that one promotion. Now you've got AEW that's been started, over a year now?
Yeah, it's almost 3 now, yeah.
Almost 3 years now, yeah. So it's like, you know, we love AEW for that raw wrestling. It's not all the Hollywood glitz, glamour, and fireworks.
5 promos in 2 hours, yeah.
Right, exactly. Like we watched SmackDown last night, and I was quite unimpressed because there was 2, 3 matches, maybe
3 matches, 5 promos, and video package segments in total,
and that's it.
Yep.
Whereas you get to AEW, and there's 4 matches or 5, depending on how much, and it's usually only an hour for some of their stuff, or 2 hours.
Yeah, four matches an hour. They start the show with the people already in the ring just so they can get it right going.
Yeah, and this is what we look at. Right. And I mean, as fans, I don't want to listen to 20 different promos every single week. It's the same freaking promo.
Yeah.
Right. This is what happened last week, and this is what's going on now. And now we're going to have a match, and they do it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's okay. They're going to get in the ring and they're going to spout off what happened last week anyways. So just let it go. We don't need all that. You know,
I like a wrestler. I know, it's a very controversial figure.
Yeah.
But people, several of them. People like, trying to think of his name. Is it Lance Armstrong?
Lance Armstrong?
No, Lance Storm.
Oh, okay.
Lance Storm, him, Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
They didn't do a lot of talking, but they came out and said more with their actions than they could with words.
Exactly.
And I want that sort of, you know, have the storylines by all means.
Well, even Cena does that. You know?
Yeah.
Let's just let's have a bit more sort of intensity and guys just coming out and I like to one of them to just come out, especially when Cena was around.
Exactly.
Come out and say, Cena, shut up, right? Let's fight. Boom, done.
Yeah, that's it. And
stop your waffle.
And this is it. Like, you remember back in the day, Jace, when it was old WWF, and you got Hulk Hogan said a little promo in the back of, what you did this to me last week, I'm going to kick your ass, and he's out at the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah. I like that they do that still.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you've got all these, this is what happened last week after they just told you that. Or they do it before they tell you, and then they come out to the ring and reiterate everything.
Well,
there's no point to it all.
I think some of it is that they do too much in the way of cutaway segments.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not even the wrestlers talking, it's just, like you said,
yeah.
Right? Previously on WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
No.
mean, we get that all the time with our shows that we watch and everything else. So I mean, we're
No.
just kind of getting sick of the oversaturation of
No.
that. We just want to see people wrestle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's a lot of it is they feel that, and in some degrees this is true. People
Yeah.
don't have the attention span that they used to.
Yep.
So you have to keep reminding them.
Yep.
You know, you get a reminder. A lot of the shows that you see on TV. Oh, this is what happened 5 minutes ago. Like, well, we
Yeah.
know that because we were
We
here.
just
We were
watched
watching it. We were just watching it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
What
It's-
else?
But then they're posting it on YouTube afterwards. You get 5 little things on YouTube afterwards of what happened.
Yeah.
You know, like the one thing I was happy about, and they do it a little more often now, but you know how AEW shows their little thing afterwards of what happened when they went off the air, right?
Yeah.
Well, WWE did it the other night after SmackDown, and it was Paul Heyman calling out a New Orleans University got a kid, and he was arguing with them. Well, all of a sudden, Paul goes, "Oh, really? I'm going to kick your ass," and blah, blah, blah. He was going on and on. He rips off his suit jacket, and he goes after this kid and pretends he's going to hurl over the barricade and attack this kid. And you know what I mean? It was a really cool thing to see. This is what we like to see, you know, but they don't do that enough.
No. I used to like, well, it was Impact Mania. I've seen a couple of WWE ones.
Right.
But like the house shows.
Yeah, exactly.
And the stars could just do whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't, you know, all right, yeah, you still had the character to a degree, but they were having a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Devon Dudley nearly doing himself a cropper when he slipped on the blooming mats outside the ring, and he was killing himself laughing because he nearly fell on his ass, and he was absolutely wetting himself.
Yeah,
you know, and completely out of character.
But yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Well, look at Titus O'Neil went under the ring. The guy laughed for days about that.
Yeah.
It was, you know, Ronda Rousey almost had that moment the other night, a couple nights ago or a couple weeks ago when she came out. She almost tripped going into the ring. So
yeah.
But anyway, I mean, this is the thing. You know, we'll see what happens with this new company and everything else. I do agree it's a little bit of oversaturation, but you know, what are we going to do, right? They're going to do what they want, and we don't have to watch if we don't want to.
That's very true.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Oxidize. What's going on? Welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. I do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I hope you're well.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, I don't know what else you got to bring up, but I would like to get onto my little thing that I mentioned to you about you earlier.
Yeah, that I was actually just going to get to that. Hello, Kez. How are you? Welcome in. Thanks for joining. Hope you're well. I'm happy to have you in. I'm going to talk right now, and I'm going to let Jason take this one a little bit because he really has been wanting to talk about this. But the release of William Regal. Now, I was really upset about this. Yeah. He has been a tremendous person in WWE, and I'm not impressed with the fact that they let him go. He was a tremendous wrestler. He had a great career, and as a general manager for NXT was doing a phenomenal job. Loved it. And then they let him go. Yeah. Now, I don't know the full reason behind why they did it. I think Jason might be able to elaborate a little bit more.
Got a few details,
Yeah, and we're all well. Thank you so much, Kez. So, Jace, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, well, I mean, I read some of the tweets and Twitters and all the rest of it. Now, apparently, William is not bitter about it. He was very, what should we say, gracious about it all. And from what I understand, the reason he was let go is because of what they're doing with NXT 2.0.
Yeah.
Right? And it's being billed as a very different show from the original NXT.
Yeah.
Right? And it is. So there was a lot of people connected with 2.0 have been let go as well, not just Stephen Regal, Willie Regal, whatever you want to call him.
Right.
I know him as both. It's basically it was to do with that. Because he was also involved in talent relations for NXT. He wasn't just a figurehead. He was helping the talent, developing the talent, choosing the talent, all the rest of it, blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
And apparently now they're more going in-house with who they pick for NXT rather than doing what William Regal was doing, which was scouting different places to get them in. So he was like, look, don't dig at WWE for it. This is what it is, right? They kept me in employment for 21 years. I'm very grateful to them for all that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's short of a bubble too. I think he's been well looked after.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he's, I believe he's already got bookings over here.
Right.
So, it's probably going to end up in something like Progress or 1PW or something like that. Because they're both quite big companies. I'm definitely gonna look out and see if I can see him doing anything, because you'll often get them turning up from these small independent British companies, and I've been fortunate enough to meet people like Jake the Snake, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, all those ones, Billy Gunn, all when they were doing independent stuff.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed, a lot of the fans can now get to actually meet him. And I know I would like to, because I think he's an absolute legend.
Oh, he is.
War games.
Yeah.
War games.
Yeah. Well, I remember him for the days when there was him when, and this is back when Dave Finlay had black hair and a moustache. Right?
Right.
I remember them two in World of Sport Wrestling.
Yeah.
Very, very early on in their careers. And they had the likes of Kendo Hakasaki, Rollerball Rocco, Johnny Haystacks, Cat Weasel, Big Daddy, all them lot. So they were quite a big circle. The other thing I'm wondering, right, this is going off a tangent here, is because of Hunter's relationship with William, because he trained Triple H.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know that, but he did train Triple H quite a lot. And they are, they're really good mates. So whether there's something down the line there for him, or, because we don't know what's going on with Triple H at the moment, whether it seems less likely now that he's going to inherit the company.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. There's even talk about Rock buying WWE when Vince retires.
Yeah.
All these rules. But no, am I upset about it? I won't lie.
Yeah.
Right? But he's not gone off, slacking them off or anything like that. As I said, he's been very gracious about it. So if he's fine with it, then who am I to say any different?
Exactly.
And I'm sure he'll do all right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did see of him. He's got, I don't know if people know, he's got a pet lizard called Tommy.
Yeah.
And it's probably the coolest lizard you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Completely off tangent and, off topic, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But that's okay. Yeah. I mean, this is a thing, right? These are the things we learn about William Regal. He's such a soft, gentle soul. And he did train Triple H and everything else. I remember his first character in WWE was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. So
when he did the little
the little bow and the outfit he wore, the whole persona.
He still did that at the end of his career. It's good. That's the one little thing from that time that he kept.
Yeah. So, And he did a really good job. And this is the thing, I love William Regal. I am really impressed with everything he's done in WWE. I hope he does great things. But Steve, what are you thinking?
I loved Regal. But honestly, sounds like it was a mutual breakup, or at least a good, happy breakup, and not anything. He's pretty much accomplished everything he was hoping for,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why he went so peacefully.
Yeah.
He should have been a champ, though.
Oh,
Should have been a
man.
champ.
I agree. He should have been. He was great.
Yeah, I know we've had. Sorry to interrupt. I know we've had an Irish champ.
Yeah.
In Sheamus, we've had a Scottish champ in Drew.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice for someone like Regal to be the first English champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wonder if Nigel McGuinness had kept wrestling, whether he'd have been the first English champ.
Could be. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as it wasn't a bad breakup and he's cool with it and he's still happy, you know, then I'm okay with it. Suxy left. Regal was awesome for NXT. But they're moving on. They've changed the company. It's just they've gone from NXT being developmental to more of its own brand now. So
absolutely, yeah,
that's the difference with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we wish William Regal all the best in his future endeavors, as WWE puts it. You know, but we do wish him all the best. I mean, he's had a phenomenal career as a wrestler and a general manager. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll still do great things. Okay, so we're going to get to the last couple of things that I have here. The next AEW pay-per-view that's coming up is called Revolution. Sorry.
Yes, you think of WWE.
I know, right? Revolution. And the matches thus far that I have written down, because it is still not until March. So we have Adam Cole versus Adam Page. CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not sure what to expect with this one.
It's because MJF cheated and beat Punk twice in Chicago on the same night. So now he's like, now you can't run away from me because of the dog collar match. So
yeah, exactly. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa.
Yep.
Which I'm aching to see.
Didn't realize Thunder was like 70-something-1. That's insane. Her only loss to, I believe,
insane.
Jade Cargill was her only loss.
Yep. That's right. She's amazing. I really do like it. I like her entrance music, and
I love the Wolverine outfit she's wearing now.
Yeah, I do. I love that. Yeah. There's Face of the Revolution ladder match.
The Sonic ring match.
Now I'm going to say a name, and I'm sure Jason's going to be a little shocked when I say it, but in this match so far, Keith Lee.
Yes.
Wardlow.
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs, and there's more. They haven't announced them all yet.
3 big ass boys so far.
No, I knew. I did know Keith Lee had gone across.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that he did as well.
3 big ass men already in that ladder match. So
you should see the promo poster they had. Steve showed it to me. There's Powerhouse Hobbs, and then they had Wardlow, and then they have Keith Lee, and they're all like this. There's 3 monsters.
I do wish they'd do more with Hobbs. I think he's got a lot of potential.
Oh, I love Hobbs.
I think they are. He's starting to come up now.
They need Brian Cage back for that, and they also need Miro in that match.
Yep.
Good Lord, has some Titans in that match.
Yeah. And the other match that they have right now is Jurassic Express versus a team to be announced and versus another team to be announced. They haven't announced the other 2 teams yet. But like I said, we have another couple of weeks before the pay-per-view, so we're sure.
6th, I think.
What's that?
Wow.
March 6th.
I'm wondering, you said about tag teams, right, to be announced.
Yeah.
Could we see a team that we've not seen for a while anywhere?
Matt Hardy's?
Well, I wasn't thinking about the Hardys, but now you mention it. Yeah.
Jeff's contract expires 4 days after the pay-per-view. So Tony Khan would have to buy it out.
Okay. then they could have private. They've not anything much with Private Party of late, really.
Yeah.
Right, and they were a good. All right, it's a crap name for a tag team, and you got Mister Buckus Popcorn Hair. I can never remember his name. You know the one I mean.
Mark Quinn?
Yeah, the one he's always got these little bubbles all over his little yellow bubbles all over
Mark
his
Quinn.
nipples.
Mark
It looks
Quinn.
bloody ridiculous.
So Isaiah Cassidy's
right?
the one I like. I don't really like Mark Quinn much, but
yeah.
But they could do something more with them again, because I think they again another team that perhaps a little bit underutilized.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm assuming they're still with Matt, are they?
That whole situation's so messed up, Jason.
For now, yeah.
It went from the Hardy family office to now it's the AHFO. It's the Andrade Hardy family office. It's all over the place right now. And now Andrade's trying to hire Darby. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. They keep asking Darby, "Where's your boss?" And Sting's like, "Hello, I'm not his boss." Okay, Darby, he's not your boss. Where's your boss? I'm like, dude, he's not his boss. so it's all over the place right now.
Yeah.
Now Matt has been doing erratic behavior, and they keep saying his behavior is getting erratic and more erratic and more erratic. Well, the other day, when Keith Lee was facing Isaiah Cassidy for the Face of Revolution qualifier, he picked him up, threw him literally all the way across the ring.
Yeah.
And during that match, Matt walked out, kind of like how Jeff walked out WWE, went in the crowd and was walking out. And then he kept doing like the Team Extreme hand signs into the people in the crowd. And then he just had a promo this week, getting in Christian's face, I think it was, or somebody's face.
Are we going to see Broken Matt back, maybe?
I think so. And he got in, I think it was Christian's face, and he kept doing this in his face, like getting in his face, doing that in his face.
Yeah.
And then the commentator's like, he's getting more erratic and erratic each day.
Yeah.
Well, they've already announced March 12th that they're gonna be in a, forgot what promotion they said, but Matt and Jeff are gonna face either the Briscoes or somebody else for a title.
So is Jeff definitely coming to AEW then?
It is GCW, wasn't it?
GCW, yes, they're gonna have a title match there, and I think he's gonna come to AEW after that. So it's definitely confirmed that he's coming. It's just
Matt keeps calling him Brother Nero too.
Yes, he does.
Releasing Brother Nero.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's another thing that we're looking at.
And Jeff keeps posting like his songs, but he's using a picture of Willow and like neon.
Well, yeah. Well, we keep thinking Willow's
was gonna come back.
He was going to come in WWE, but it never happened.
He said he was going to bring it back, but it's never happened.
Yeah. But no, regarding the tag teams, I'd like to see if I presume one half is still working for Impact.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see the Motor City Machine Guns stand up.
Yeah. That would be cool.
It's doable because Alex Shelley, as far as I know, is still a free agent.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'd like to see Red Dragons one of them teams.
Yeah.
Fish and.
Well, yeah, by all means.
O'Reilly, yeah.
But no, it'd be nice to have a, maybe only a one-off, right? But just having a team that people know, but we've not seen for a while. I know it won't happen because Bobby Roode is with WWE still.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to have Beer Money come back.
Oh,
yeah.
They were a great team.
Yeah.
Right. Always get ready.
Beer Money. Yeah. I wish Dolph would leave WWE, come to AEW, be with his brother, and then they'd be the Hollywood Hunks.
Apparently, though, Bobby and James haven't spoken to each other since he left Impact.
Yeah.
They don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
So, that's not to say they can't do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
But, but no, it's just I like with AEW and Impact have been doing it, and even WWE to an extent of doing the Forbidden Door bit where they're doing cross promotional stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
You should be able to.
Yeah, you should be able to
work with another promotion.
Yeah.
Yes. You have your contracting. Your big contract guys there, but if you're not going to be using them for a while, then send them over to New Japan or whatever, right? and let him be utilised to some extent. And, to help him promote your stuff over in another company and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. And this is the thing. I like I said, I like the fact that AEW was doing Impact in New Japan, and now WWE brought in Mickie James and Sarah Logan from Impact, especially letting Mickie James come out to her music and wearing the belt.
Country. Yeah.
That was an amazing step up for WWE. So there are many great things in the future.
I don't know, before you continue, I don't know what you have left, but this is kind of a segue. So we were talking about the teams that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
I do hope that the House of Black get in there. Malachi Black and Brody King. Now, they just shot a promo where Malachi was saying it's time to bring back old wounds because they're feuding right now with the Death Triangle. They're feuding right now because Penta or Ray Phoenix is still hurt. So it's been Penta, which he's actually going back to his dark gimmick, and Pac, our team right now. But when Death Triangle comes back, it's going to be a stable versus stable. They've announced, and then he was flipping cards over because one's Malachi, one card's him, one's Brody King. Then he flipped another card over and said it's time to bring back old wounds. And then you saw someone in the background walking up, but you couldn't really see it. But it just got announced. I don't know if you were going to mention this, but Buddy Matthews, who was feuding with Malachi forever as Alistair, the whole hurting his eye gimmick on the thing, they kept that was cool. Apparently, he's going to be joining the House of Black to being the third member.
Yeah.
So
that would be kind of cool.
They didn't like Murphy's, his physique. That's why they never signed him before. So I'm curious to see what he looks like now.
Yeah.
They decided, okay, we're going to sign you now. So see that stable.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Have oh crikey, I'm trying to remember their damn names now.
I love it. You got it on the tip of your tongue.
Ortiz and Santana or whatever it is.
They have left Jericho.
There's
I knew that. So
they could.
Are they right? Could they be the tag team? Because I don't think they've ever had the title.
No, they've had a tag
and they should
match, but they never won it. Oh, I agree. I love them.
Yeah.
My dream match, and it's never going to happen, I don't think, which breaks my heart. I would always, and Vicky's heard me talk about this, I would have loved to see Santana Ortiz versus the Usos.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a wild match. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I guess never say never.
Who knows?
Never say never, right? Got Cody Rhodes going back to the place he claimed he hated, so who knows?
Yeah. We'll see.
I think it's because Triple H is gone is why he's going back, to be totally honest.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens at Revolution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Best of luck to all the entrants. We're going to talk about something that I kind of was disappointed in. We watched Elimination Chamber today, which was on. It started at 11 p.m. for the pre-show, 12 p.m. for the actual pay-per-view. It was supposed to be 4 hours long, but there were a lot of mishaps and a lot of really crappy matches that I was not impressed with. I don't know about you, Jace, because you kind of quickly skimmed through it before we came on. But we're going to start with the pre-show match, and without saying too much about each match, we'll give you each a chance to say your piece about the match. But the pre-show match was Rey Mysterio against The Miz, which I kind of shocked that Rey Mysterio is now a jobber on the pre-show. But against The Miz, it kind of made sense.
Hey, I will not appreciate any Miz slander on this damn program. I will not allow it. He is the hardest worker in that backstage, all right? You don't slander him.
He is a hard worker. He is a very
so many
talented
people over
man.
and people don't give him credit for it.
Yeah, that I'm not putting him down for. I'm saying just as his character.
But, screw his character.
But Rey Mysterio defeated him with a roll up.
The most electrifying move in sports entertainment.
Right. But the thing was, he had faked a shoulder injury and then turned around, got Dominic kicked out of the ring, and as he tried to roll up Ray reversed it, rolled up the Miz for the 3 count. So quickly, Jace, your thoughts?
That kind of makes sense in a way that it was a reverse move and getting, Miz a taste of his own medicine. So it's perhaps not as bad as some of the other roll-ups I've seen.
True.
It is what it is. There's a bit of a silly storyline they've got going. It's not really beneficial to either of them, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping them on TV, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true, because it is Rey Mysterio, right? Got to keep him relevant.
Exactly. Yeah.
Steve, your thoughts on the match?
It was actually a pretty good match for a while. I noticed some things about Dom. I heard that a little bit. Nice.
Yeah.
I think the main point of that match was if you look at the optics of the background, because after the match, Dominic kind of just started attacking the Miz, right? So I think there is a dark side of Dominic coming out because of the egging on that Miz has done, saying Eddie's his real dad and all this stuff going on. I think Dominic might have a heel turn in the future coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that, actually.
Yeah, it feels like a dark side's coming out because of the Miz.
Yeah.
Because he's very much been, I'm helping my dad out.
He has to have dad fighting his battles for him. Yeah, that's what his character is.
That's and this would be like, Ray doesn't like the way he's saying, don't like the way he's going.
Yeah.
With the dark side of it. And Dominic's no, this is what I need to do to get the job done.
Yeah. This is me now.
But we'll see.
Yeah, this is me now, like it or lump it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's me, it's Dominic.
Now
that doesn't really work.
Right, it would, right?
Bang.
This match we're going to talk about now, which we were shocked that it was at the very beginning of the show, but it ended we were disappointed, but it's Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, in which Roman defeated Goldberg by putting him to sleep.
Yeah.
So Steve,
the old man went to bed.
Yeah, Steve, we'll go with you. I was disappointed, hugely disappointed in the way this match ended. I thought it was going to go on a little bit longer, but whatever, time constraints. But anyways, Steve, your thoughts?
The pay-per-view was like super basic when I predicted every single match completely spot on.
Yep.
Well, all matches except the one that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later. As for Roman and Goldberg, it was literally the old tale of the old man just got tired and went to bed. That's all I remember from the match. I mean, I can literally almost sum the whole match up in a couple sentences.
Yeah.
The match comes out. The champ comes out first, tells Saudi Arabia to acknowledge him. Roman did. Goldberg comes out with his crazy entrance that he does and gets thrown in the corner, gets thrown outside the ring, goes back in, spears Roman, goes to the jackhammer, gets reversed. Roman goes for a spear, spears him. Then he just puts him to sleep with a guillotine. Yeah. I from what I remember, from watching WWE years, if Goldberg's holding the ropes, which he held the ropes every time I went to the corner, even if you let go of the ropes and get fall back down with the guy on you, they still have to break that up.
Yeah.
And the ref never counted, never did anything like that. And he just had him in the guillotine for like 3 minutes and put him to sleep. So really, Roman had no offense but the guillotine, and then Goldberg lost to that.
Yeah.
Very, very weird match. Didn't really need it. It was just another way of having Goldberg be safe and have another win. So
I know. Yeah. I know. They call it the Elimination Chamber, right? But this was essentially Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Right? And every single time they bring an old retired wrestler or semi-retired wrestler back, the matches are absolutely diabolical.
Yep.
They're bloody awful.
Yep.
Right? The one where Shawn Michaels came back, that was I can't even put into words what that was, but that was just,
Yeah.
And it's always the same, right? Okay, we know Goldberg can't go anymore, really.
Mhm.
All the rest of it, he's never been able to do long matches anyway,
No,
right?
he doesn't
We
have
know
it. He's
that.
a football player, not a wrestler.
Exactly, right? You know, I knew it wasn't going to be great, but it was worse than what I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, when he was in the chokehold,
Yeah.
did you notice that Goldberg had some marks on the top of his
Yeah,
skull?
he was bleeding.
Every single match, he has like super sensitive skin on his head or something.
Yeah.
Because every
But
time
I didn't see when that bit occurred.
No, me either.
when he got thrown outside the ring, I think that's when it happened.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did wonder whether I know obviously he wouldn't have had it on very hard,
He just has
but
really
when
sensitive
they had the
skin.
chokehold on, he'd burst some blood vessels in his scalp.
Nah, he just has really his skin is kind of he has like
Yeah.
dead cells up there and it just busts open easy.
Yeah,
That's
Ric
all.
Flair was the same way. Every match he wrestled, he was bleeding. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
he gigged a lot too.
True.
He would fake his little fall thing he did. Oh shit, it's time to gig. The next time this camera showed him, he's just sitting there in a pool just from doing his own little taunt.
Yeah.
he loved to gig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was highly disappointed with that match and the way it ended.
Yeah.
And
You know,
he's
it could have
right.
gone on. It could have been so much better. It could have been a proper pin and whatever
Well,
else. But
especially building it up over the it's supposed to
Yeah.
happen 2 years ago,
yeah,
and then we finally get it, and it's
And
like,
that's it.
oh, okay.
All this time for that.
yeah. But Steve and I both talked about it too with Steve's buddy Austin and Chris. We kind of all agreed that they're trying to do a Hulk Hogan thing with him, get him to like 600 days holding that title, or 601 just to get him over, you know what I mean? And then he'll lose the title. Maybe at WrestleMania he'll lose it, you know,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
or whatever. But anyways, we'll see what happens.
Jason's right though about the old guys coming back and having terrible matches. Even the match where Goldberg squashed Brock in like 40 seconds, even that felt like a 3-star, at least 3 stars more than this match was worth.
Yep.
It's because it was unexpected and like crazy.
Yeah.
This match, Goldberg squashed Roman and then just lost to some sleeper hold.
Yeah.
It
was stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next match that we watched was the Elimination Chamber match, which is the women's one, involving Bianca Belair, Doudrop, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Ash, Alexa Bliss, and Liv Morgan. Now, Steve said, go with your heart and predict who you think is going to win, and then tell me who is going to win. So we all kind of said Alexa Bliss or Liv Morgan, but we knew that it was going to be Bianca Belair or Rhea.
Don't lie. You and Austin said Alexa's going to win.
Oh, I wanted her to win.
Yeah,
big time.
I told you, I was like, I would want her to live to win too, but Bianca's going to.
Yeah, and the winner was Bianca Belair.
Yep.
Poor Alexa was the last one in the ring with her, and she gave Bianca a run for her money, though.
Yeah, she definitely missed the ring. You could tell.
Yeah, she did.
She was all about it.
But Jason, your thoughts on that match?
I didn't think it was that a bad match. Actually, it was one of the better ones.
I was going to say the same thing.
No, it was what it wasn't overly long, perhaps, but it was all right.
Yeah.
I think each woman, even for the brief time that Nikki was in there, they all put in a good effort. They got the story across they needed to tell, right? I don't think Bianca needed to have yet another WrestleMania moment, but she's incredibly over at the moment anyway, so I guess that's why they know it's going to sell tickets.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and Alexa, Liv did a good job as always, as she always does.
Yeah.
Doudrop was, she's coming along quite nicely. Alexa doesn't look like she's missed a step.
Nope.
She's she's revved up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Good solid match. The best elimination match I've ever seen. No, but it's pretty decent. One of the better matches on the card.
Yeah, and I did enjoy it too, because the one thing I thought was a nice touch was they put a swing in the pod for Alexa to sit on.
Yeah, because she's like halfway between the goddess.
Yeah, she's not quite.
She's like in the middle between the two. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, if you guys remember, the first ever women's elimination chamber match, Alexa won that one.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see her
Yeah.
back in this one.
Yeah.
Again, now after she's done her therapy and everything else. But I do like the way they did it. Congrats to Bianca.
She's in a two worlds collide situation right now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I kind of like the way she was today. She was really angry. She took down a lot of people and was really giving it her all. So I was impressed. But congrats to Bianca. But Steve, your thoughts on the match?
I agree with him about that was one of the better matches of the night. Which you would hope for is Elimination Chamber, right? So, again, like I said, and I said this all night, I was like, who in your heart's going to win and who in your mind's going to win? Because that's always different. And, you know, they started pushing Liv really hard this past few months. And I was like, after everything that's gone on, I was telling Vicky, I was like, her winning the Rumble was like the last chance with me believing in the push that she's getting. And when she didn't win it, I'm like, I'm telling you, she's not winning this.
Yeah.
And fair enough, she's like the second eliminated or something.
Yeah.
It was Nikki, and then I think it was Liv. So I was like, you know, Bianca's going to win. They're going to have a Bianca versus Becky because that, you know, after everything that went on, the way that Bianca lost the title, she's got to have that rematch at some point, like an actual.
Well, yeah, I mean that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good match. I actually kind of fell in love with Rhea a little bit more because I liked her in NXT a lot.
Yeah.
And then when she came to WWE, the way she came in turned me off on her because of like, oh, your first match is going to be a title match at Mania. I'm like, that's kind of garbage, you know?
Yeah.
And then the whole her teaming with Nikki Ash turned me away. But that fire that she brought at the chamber, I was like, all right, Rhea, I see you. I see you. You're back.
Yeah.
And they started like a little feud with her and Bianca trying to one up each other in there.
Exactly.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And Bianca winning it, I mean, it was to be expected. The main takeaway though is Bliss is back.
Yep.
And she looks like she's fired up, so I'm expecting her down the line to do something big because she never won anything with that gimmick yet. If you remember, like a 4-time champ or something like that with the Goddess, a 3-time champ, and went to the Fiend gimmick. She never really won anything. So I'm hoping to see that she starts getting back in that title picture. She had one title match, and that was the match where Charlotte ripped up the doll Lily.
Yeah,
and then she
lost it.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what they're going to do with her down the line now. But it was a very good match. I think that was one of the better ones for sure.
I really was impressed with one thing. I'll say overall in this pay-per-view was the women's outfits. Now Steve was impressed, but
oh yeah,
but it was much more.
Don't make me say what you said about Dewdrop.
But it was much more to their persona and their regular ring attire than just a black onesie with a turtleneck and a t-shirt. So I was impressed that they allowed them to wear that kind of outfit and everything else. It really made me happy that they're starting to do things like that in the WWE. You know what I mean? So I was impressed by that. But hey, Louisa, how are you? I guess everyone in here was listening from. Thank you. Was listening from the bushes. Couldn't say anything till now.
That sounds a bit dodgy.
Yeah, she was driving. That's why.
You're the one stalking Shayna Baszler.
That's it. Yeah.
Sonya Deville.
All right, love you, Louisa. Thank you so much for coming in, honey.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, okay. So the next match we're going to talk about is Naomi and Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. And as we hoped, Naomi and Ronda won. And Ronda won or helped win with one hand tied behind her back.
Yeah.
So Jason, your thoughts?
Honestly, I skipped it.
Jason!
I wasn't really that bothered. Don't get me wrong. Right, I like Ronda. I think she's a hell of a competitor. Nothing wrong with Naomi. But I'm kind of bored of the whole Naomi and Sonya feud.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be wrapped up and done with.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just oh, let's throw in a tag team in there, tag team match.
Yeah.
That'd do.
Yeah, that's okay. Steve, your thoughts?
Don't feel bad, dude, because it was a great cool down period. That's all it was. It was just a cool down period to set up the next match. So really, you didn't miss too much.
No, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
It was one of those matches that you could predict from a mile away how it's going to end.
Yeah,
and that's with Sonya in the armbar and Charlotte not helping her.
Exactly.
There's no reason to.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay. The next match. Very quickly, we're going to talk about Lita versus Becky.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another match I was disappointed with the ending of. So Steve, we'll go to you first.
I collectively asked the group, I said, in your heart, who you want to win and who do you think is going to win? We all said Lita, Becky, because we all knew what was going to happen. And at least they made it believable for me in this match. Okay, that hope spot that they gave me with Lita was actually one, it had me for a second. I knew Becky was going to win the match, but when Lita hit that twisty and then the Lita salt, I was like, okay, hold on, we have something to do. And of course, that whole match, they kill it with the manhandle slam. I was like, no. That whole match, just for that ending to flop like that, I was like, no, it was a great match. I'm not going to hate on it. It was a hope spot. That's what happens. And when hope spots like that happen, they're going to lose. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Lita, I said a few months ago, I said Lita's kind of slow, and I don't know how she's going to be in the ring. So now, after I've seen this match, I guess you guys have been waiting for me to say what I was going to say about this.
Yeah.
She still looked a little rusty to me. Yeah. But she had some movement going on, and I can't lie about it. She definitely looked quicker than she did in the Rumble. I like that package they showed of her training.
That was really nice to see. When they show stuff like that, I can handle those kind of promos.
Well, it's a pay-per-view, so they're allowed to preview that. I'm not going to complain. But yeah, no, I was impressed by Lita. I would actually hope she comes back for, try to get another title shot down the line. Just kind of be active in the roster. I don't know if she will be or not.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to see her back. I mean, she won me over again, man. She looked good. And she gave Becky everything she had. Yeah. I mean, she had Becky almost tapped out on the mat. She was about done. The desperate manhandle slam or the rock bottom or the Uranagi, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
She had pulled that out at the end. After she took one of her own and she was in the disarm her, got out of that. Got her hand on the rope for the manhandle slam earlier. So they went back and forth. Lita won me over, and I think that was probably the best match of the night, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree. And I mean, this is the thing. Like, you figure Lita's been gone for how long now?
Oh my gosh.
She still has ring rust.
It was so long, Vicky, that it was the women's title. She never was even in the Divas title era. She left at the beginning of that. So it was the women's title to the women's title. That's how long of a gap it was.
Yeah, exactly. It's like almost 20 years.
I think it was 13 years, but it's a long time, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, when you come back like that, it was nice to see her training. I agree with that. But Jace, I hope you didn't skip this one too.
Honestly, no, I didn't. I watched it.
You had me in the first half. You had me in the first half.
I did for a second.
You did.
No, I did watch it. I had to. It's Lita.
Yeah.
It's Lita, and I do like Becky. I think Becky's great.
She's a wrestler.
No, it was. Yeah, I would say it's probably one of the. If it's a mix between that and the women's elimination chambers, which is the best match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ending was a bit. Yeah, it was a bit. It was all right. It wasn't dreadful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But perhaps it could have been a little better. I think there was still a little bit of ring rust there with Lita.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got to remember, right, with all due respect, she's not a spring chicken anymore.
No.
Right? So perhaps she's not quite as capable of doing the moves as she was. Yeah. But that didn't stop her from having a go.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I say fair play to her.
Yeah.
She definitely put the effort in. She's obviously been training hard, wanting to make the best of this. And obviously the idea was to put Becky over with a legend, which worked. It did, it did everything it was supposed to. We knew she wasn't going to win,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even when there was some like close moments where you thought, hang on a minute, maybe they're doing something that we're not expecting.
Yeah.
Just for seconds you wondered.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'd say hat off, my hat off to her for doing what she did, and obviously, Becky did her part and made the whole match work.
Yeah.
And even, well, yeah, I mean, she sold what Lita was doing really well.
Yeah.
So probably made Lita look even better than she might have otherwise. Yeah. So damn good match.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I really was impressed with how they did it. Okay, so the next match, Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss, in which Drew McIntyre prevailed. Even though we had Happy Corbin interfering constantly throughout the match. But Drew McIntyre almost took his head off with the sword. But it turned out to be a really, really super good match. I liked it. It. It was short, but I liked it. But Jace, we'll go to you first. How do you feel about it?
I'll have to go back and watch it.
I'm
sorry. I'm just bloody. I don't like what they do with Riddick.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's a shit gimmick.
Yeah.
Right. Happy Corbin can go do one. Right. So that's why I skipped it. I love Drew. Drew's great. But I thought this match was beneath him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe I can go back on WWE Network and watch it, but
yeah,
I'm not too fussed.
Yeah, I hear you. Steve, you
fancy people on your WWE networks. I'm stuck over here with Peacock. Now, again, I will not tolerate any Corbin slander in this. He is the one wrestler in the world right now that no one's ever kicked out of his finisher. Okay? No one's ever kicked out of the end of days. That's completely true. And Happy Corbin is still undefeated, so no slander. Anyway. It was actually a decent match. It wasn't... I knew going into it, it's Madcap, so I'm like, you know what? The way they're booking him, he's obviously going to lose to Drew. Even with the interference of Happy, it's whatever. It was cheesy, the ending of it with the sword, how he's holding it in one hand and then he did the Claymore. It wasn't even really a street fight. They didn't even leave the arena. Yeah, so that was kind of weird. You might as well just call it an Extreme Rules match or Falls Count Anywhere. It was another, honestly, cool-down match. But between the two cool-down matches, I still think that the tag match was better than that one. So, again, you didn't miss too much on this one either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
yeah. All right. I'm going to quickly talk about this one. We don't even have to give an opinion, but Usos versus Viking Raiders, they never even got to the ring. The Usos took out the Raiders before they even got to the ring. The bell never rung, so the match never started. They put him out of commission, so that match was squashed. Anyway, I think it was time constraints. It was supposed to be
possibly.
What's that?
No, I'm saying possibly.
Yeah, it could have been, but we're going to get to what the main event match was, the Elimination Chamber for the men, which featured Brock versus Riddle versus Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. But I am going to reiterate that Bobby Lashley, unfortunately...
I have news about that.
Yeah, was injured due to Seth Rollins... what did he do? Spear him or throw him?
He did a buckle bomb.
Yeah.
Through the panel.
Putting Austin Theory through Bobby Lashley's cage window. And he was on concussion watch and everything else. And I'll let Steve tell you in a second. But, of course, when they got to Bobby Lashley being chosen, they let Brock in because he smashed his way out of the pod.
Brock
and
smash.
won the match. So, Steve, we'll go to you for the news on Bobby and your thoughts on the match.
All right, so there's positives. From the reports I'm seeing is it was a very good work. There's actually nothing wrong with Bobby whatsoever.
No, I didn't think there was.
That spotless plan. It just looked shady the way that. Well, what really confused me is that they said it was concussion, even though they showed him limp, being carried off. And the only thing that we were concerned about is that how Austin Theory landed straight on his foot. So maybe we were thinking a broken foot. No, it was a work. It's going to be setting up later between Brock and Bobby, which also for the rematch, which also makes me think that Brock's going to lose to Roman at Mania because you can't have a title rematch without a title. And if they're both on the line, or they're not going to both be on the line, I think it's only going to be Roman's on the line for the Rumble.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that Roman's going to win again for that streak. As for the match, it started off as a normal match.
Yeah.
And then it became a giant. It became Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah.
The little people were getting ate by the big ass Titan.
Yeah.
And Austin and Vicky and I were all upset because we were hoping we're going to have a New Japan match, right, between AJ and Brock at the end. Because if you've ever seen AJ, Brock actually lost to AJ New Japan. Crazy match. Yeah. Really crazy match. We're hoping, and nope, he came in and squashed AJ. And it ended up being Austin Theory, who got a hope spot. We were actually praying. We're like, please don't hurt Austin Theory, even though we don't like him at all. We're like, please don't hurt him. He doesn't deserve it. He got the nut shot spot, the drop kick, the DDT. Looked good for a while, and then Brock's like, all right, time to actually start, playing.
Yeah.
And then he chased him around. Disgusting F5 off the pod, by the way.
Oh,
craziest spot ever. I thought he was going to throw him through the glass up top. He was smashing his head in. I was like, Brock, stop. Yeah. But he F5'd him over the top. The match went from a normal chamber match to just a squash fest. And as soon as Brock came out, it just elimination. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I love this Brock right now, but it just they just made the match accelerate way too quick, and that's why the time never went to the 4 hours they promised.
Yeah,
they could have extended that match. They could have had him and AJ fighting for a while, or him and Riddle fighting for a while. Instead, it was just one F5. Like, like it was almost like when Shayna Baszler was being pushed on her chamber match when she was just
yeah. Oh, Steve froze on us.
Yeah, sorry, that was for a second. But it almost felt like a Shayna Baszler 2.0, but with Brock.
Yeah, exactly. Jace, what are your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, really. I think it was inevitable that Brock was going to win, to be fair. I thought Bobby... I kind of liked what they did with Bobby and the fact that it was a high-impact thing. What I would have liked to have seen was him to dug himself out of the wreckage and then give Brock a bit of a slapping.
Yeah.
That would have been more fun.
Yeah. It would have been cool if he came back later while he was chasing Austin Theory. They came up behind him and attacked him or something. Yeah.
I mean, obviously this was all set up and it is supposed to be title versus title. I don't think it's just one title on the line. It's supposed to be both titles on the line.
All they said was champion versus champion. I don't know the stipulation. Yeah. That's all I know.
I'm pretty sure they said title versus title. I could be wrong.
I know at least Roman's is because of the Rumble. I don't know about Brock.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Be that as it may. Until Brock came out, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Then Brock went and squashed everybody, which I thought was a bit meh.
Stepped on everybody. Yeah.
Right. Everyone did their part they were supposed to do. That was fine. Everyone put in a good effort. Again, considering they obviously had constraints.
Yeah.
Why the pay-per-view didn't last as long as it was supposed to, I don't know.
No, I don't know. I think it's to the squash match and everything else. I think that match could have happened between the Usos and the Viking Raiders. I don't know why they squashed it, but
maybe one of them was injured or something. That's why they couldn't do it.
It could have been, yeah. But I mean, the thing is, with Bobby Lashley, it would have been nice to see him come back out. Like, I'm sure he hit his head and everything that happened. Maybe he sprained his ankle or twisted his ankle, and now he's fine or whatever. We'll find out on Raw on Monday what's going on and stuff like that. Maybe it was, and maybe it was just a work, say, because he didn't want to face Brock again or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. But all in all, I mean, if you give it a rating out of 10, I would give it a 6 out of 10 for the pay-per-view. I was not that impressed with some of the matches. It was over pushed in some areas and not enough push in other areas. You know, so I mean, yeah. But anyways, the next pay-per-view coming up. Now, here's the thing. I don't know why they've done this, but I looked up to see when the next pay-per-view is going to be and everything, you know, whatever. But the April 2nd is going to be a very busy day for WWE fans because NXT Stand and Deliver is scheduled for April 2nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay.
Yep.
And WrestleMania is scheduled April 2nd, day 1 at 7 p.m. for the kickoff, 8 p.m. for the actual pay-per-view, Eastern Standard Time. And then again, the next night on April 3rd, 7 p.m. kickoff, 8 p.m. pay-per-view. I don't know why it's 2 nights. I mean, I guess they want to throw a lot of matches into WrestleMania and whatever. But putting NXT and WrestleMania on the same day, I mean, I feel bad for NXT in some senses because not a lot of people are going to watch it. It's a lot of wrestling in one day.
I think the problem is I mean, what did they do last time?
They just had 2 days of WrestleMania. There was no NXT thing. I think it was the weekend before or something like that.
No, I think they did that, or they had Takeover on the Friday or something. It was a weird.
Yeah.
It's but the problem is obviously you've got SmackDown on a Friday as well.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they've changed it. They felt last time it was too much that way, and they thought more people will watch it because it's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't really say. I've not heard anything about NXT with what's going on with that pay-per-view. I haven't watched this NXT with was it February the 14th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Vengeance Day.
Valentine's Doofer.
Yeah.
I've not watched that. I presume that was just a regular show. They just put a different name on it.
Yeah. I didn't deem it as reportable because it was just, I don't know, I was not impressed. The only part that we really liked was the fact that Dolph Ziggler came in and tried to interfere in a match, and Tommaso Ciampa came and started beating the crap out of him. So, yeah.
I mean, and Braun Breaker's spear pretty much killed his opponent. But
Braun Breaker is a brute.
I'm quite impressed with him, actually.
Yeah, and it's Scott Steiner's nephew, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Rick Steiner's son, right? Yeah.
Rick Steiner's son, Scott Steiner's
Rick Steiner's son. Yeah. Yes, I can see that now, actually.
Yeah.
Looking at him.
And if you look at
Steiner blood.
He's got the one-piece men's tights on.
Yeah.
And it's just as colorful as Rick Steiner used to be in Scott, like when they were tag teaming. So,
but no, it was if you look at the guy, you can see Rick. You can see Rick in him.
Yeah. Oh, huge.
Right. You know. Yeah.
It's a big dude.
He's twice the size of him, though.
I've always preferred Rick to Scott.
Yeah.
Right, the dog face Gremlin. I love the dog face Gremlin. I thought it was brilliant.
One thing I noticed, and we actually saw it because we were watching like old Elimination Chambers, is when we watched that, I was like, wow, he has a spear that looks just like Batista's spear.
Yep.
And we ended up watching the 2010, the first Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, Batista in it, and he speared. I forgot who he speared. Same look. It was
Yeah.
a Batista spear, that crazy like javelin dart spear.
Yeah.
That's what Braun does. It's disgusting. That spear,
Yeah.
man, they'll cut you in
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
Anyway, what were we saying before that? Sorry, we went off on a tangent there.
we're just basically talking about the pay-per-view and
Yeah.
upcoming. So
Talking
yeah,
about Rick Steiner and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Tommaso Ciampa,
Oh,
right?
Yep.
yeah,
Did you hear? It was someone obviously being a dick, right? About what they were saying with Tommaso Ciampa getting called up to Raw,
yeah.
and they were going to call him Crazy Pizza something or other.
Tomato chomper.
Tomato
Yeah.
camper.
Tomato
Something-
camper. That's it.
Yeah, that was something weird anyway, wasn't it? Right? No, I didn't see the bit with Tomato Camper. I saw there's something about Crazy Luigi Pizza bloke or something or other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And I thought that's got to be a joke. I said that
Yeah.
has to be a joke. Please tell. They didn't ever respond. Please tell me that is a joke. But not
yeah.
even WWE could be that dumb.
Well, I don't think they do that to him, but
No.
that's what Steve calls him all the time.
No, they get rid of his last name, so instead of Tomato Camper, it'd just be Tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was a thing. This was a thing. This was actually something on Twitter or something that somebody put up.
Call him
Right.
tomato catsup, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but anyways, yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with him either, but anyway, that's about all we got for this week, guys. Now a couple things. If was it you guys want to watch us do a GM mode? Steve and I do a GM mode on his buddy Austin's channel with the 2006 WWE video game, and we do that. We're what, on our second or third month now almost of doing it.
On the
month.
recordings, yeah, for uploads, we're on the
Is
second
that
month.
a bit like what you were doing before, mate?
The
With the
CSP wrestling?
commentary.
No, this is actually like, so this is a feature that's coming back in the new game coming out. If they haven't had this.
Oh, there he goes
Oh,
again.
it's frozen. Yep.
Am I back?
Yep.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah.
it's a feature that they used to have about 10 years ago. They removed it, where
Yes,
you
yeah.
actually are general manager of a show and you book the shows.
Yeah.
You choose the talent, book the matches. That's what we do. And this is SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. We're doing it on, which was the first one they had it. But so I'm SmackDown, she's Raw, and we're trying to compete on ratings with each other by booking shows and all that cool stuff.
Which he is killing it.
Hey, I just added in Eric Bischoff, so my ratings are starting to drop. Let's be fair.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah, if
yeah.
you guys want to, what's the name of the channel that it's on again?
Forsaken Syndicate. I can get the link. if
Yeah,
you need me
okay.
to.
Yeah, let me. If one of you can let me know, and when it's on, I'll
Yeah.
certainly try and tune in one time.
Well, we don't do it live, but it's taped. So if you want to just check
Oh,
it
right,
out,
okay, yeah.
there's a few episodes up already that we've done.
Yeah.
So if you want to check them out.
Yeah, okay.
Also, starting next Wednesday, guys, for my trivia, I'm going to be doing restream. So it's going to be on Twitch and YouTube. So hopefully we'll get more people coming in and everything else, as well as our podcasts that won't be next weekend, but it'll be the weekend after. We'll be doing also on Restream. So you guys can come and tune in, share it with your friends and everything else. Get everybody in talking about wrestling because we love it. Don't forget to check out Jason's channel, Not Suitable for Mom. It's
Please,
MUM, not MOM. He has an amazing channel where he unboxes stuff. He collects Funko Pops, vinyl, CDs, and sometimes does the odd challenge. So
Yeah, I've not done one of those for a while, actually.
yeah,
Although I did go into the local HMV because they're now selling American candy.
right, nice.
And I haven't picked the standard flavors.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
and you should be getting your box soon from me.
Yes,
so
yes,
yeah,
definitely.
hopefully that'll be in soon.
Yes, that will go with you.
Yeah, let you check that out and see what kind of stuff I
Yeah.
sent him, because I sent him some
Yeah.
good stuff
I'll
he
make
doesn't
sure
know
I have
about.
my I'll make sure I have my spit bowl ready.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, and check out Steve CSB Wrestling on Twitch. He does a show where they created their own characters and storylines and everything else with his buddy Austin, Kevin, and Steven Slade. Please go and check it out. It's an absolutely amazing podcast that they do live. And thank you guys for joining me again. You guys are legends. I'm glad to have you here tonight, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks, guys. Have a wonderful night. Ciao. Love ya. See ya.
See ya.
Cheers.